Everybody, yesterday we talked about Luke 2 and the shepherds being visited by the angels. And that passage is ended by telling us that after this, the shepherds visit and then they leave, that Mary, and this is the word that I remember memorizing as a kid, Mary ponders all these things in her heart. And then goes on even after, later on in Luke 2, after they meet Simeon and Anna, and then even when Jesus, who's 12, kind of runs away to go to lecture other religious authorities. Even at the end of that, it talks about Mary holding on to these things in her heart. And that's what that word ponders means in the Greek: to treasure, to protect, to preserve, to hold on to. And we saw The Grinch this weekend with my kids, and The Grinch is always a part of our Christmas, and we remember. In that story, as Dr. Seuss writes it, it's really about his heart. Right, his heart's too small, and his heart grows as he comes to understand what Christmas is all about. The spirit of Christmas changes his heart. And so I thought about that as I was reading Luke 2 yesterday and thinking about Mary's heart. What is it that she was pondering? What was she treasuring? What was she holding on to? What was she kind of saving for later? There was something about what the shepherds said. I mean, she had just been through this. She talked to the angel Gabriel. She knew God's message. She knew what Jesus was supposed to be all about. But having these shepherds come and tell her about their encounter with angels did something to her heart. Having Jesus and seeing him have this wisdom, have this authority to teach at 12 years old, it did something to her heart. And she held on to that. I wonder if in those moments on the cross, where she was watching her son die, if she had to dig into that treasure chest. I wonder if, as she's telling this story to Luke later on, and talking to him about Jesus' childhood as Luke is trying to record this gospel, I wonder if she's sharing these stories with him after seeing the pain and the tragedy and the triumph of Jesus' adult life. And telling him, these are the things that got me through it. These are the things that helped me endure when it was really hard. When it didn't make sense. The Christmas story, the heart of it, we should treasure, we should protect, we should preserve. We have to tell ourselves in the hard times, remember that God broke through human history to come here and be with us. That God did all this for us and because of us. What do you ponder and treasure in your hearts about who Jesus is, about what he's done, about what he means for you? What do you hold on to that when the darkest of days, when the hardest of times come, that there's this treasure chest there for you to dig into, for you to cling to grab a hold of? Sometimes the things that we hear and learn about Jesus today aren't for today. They're for tomorrow. And we have to cling to them. We have to hold on to them. We have to treasure them, protect them, and preserve them so they are there when we need them most. So I hope that you have that treasure chest in your hearts to dig into, because the story of Christmas is about our hearts. It's about how God came to change our hearts and remove the brokenness and the darkness and all that overwhelms us, so that our hearts can be his, that our hearts can be drawn close to him. And the more you allow him to fill your hearts with the things of his kingdom, the more you will have on those days and those moments when you need his treasures to get through that day. So listen to what God is saying to you today. Hear it, protect it, preserve it, hold on to it, treasure it. Because there'll come a day when you need it.